Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever this video finds you. I hope you're having a rad time. I'm the Figure Dude, and on today's Action Figure Showcase, we continue with the Attitude Era. Without further ado, let's talk about some figures. Dude. Welcome back. Like I said, today we're continuing the Attitude Era Showcase, and I didn't realize how many parts of this I was going to have. I think this is like number 4. Pretty sure I'm on number 4 here, and I'm sorting out the piles, kind of mapped everything out, and I've got like 4 more parts of the Attitude Era collection. I try to consolidate, try to push everything together a little bit, but I have too many. That's not true. I don't have too many figures. I always need more figures. But I have a lot in the Attitude Era. And obviously we're getting that Attitude Era line, not Attitude, Monday Night Wars line. So we're going to be adding more, but that was still, for most people, the best time, for wrestling, at least like mainstream wise. I know it's more profitable now, but as far as just like how relevant it was to the culture then, the Attitude Era was massive. So anyway, let's get over the nostalgia talk here. First off, we have Goldberg, and this is obviously, it's a custom. I know that Tom Veg makes a Goldberg head sculpt, but I thought this would work, and I'm pretty happy with it here. So I just took one of the Bushwhacker head sculpts. I sanded down the hair a little bit, and then I just repainted it to match the body here. And then I just used a James Ellsworth. So the hands are from a Drake Maverick. But other than that, it is a straight up James Ellsworth figure with some different boots. I do need to put the, tattoo on his arm, like the dotted line that he had. If you didn't watch during the Attitude Era, Goldberg was, as you could probably guess just from his name, he was a parody of Goldberg when they were taking shots at each other, like WWE and WCW. And Goldberg was just a dumb jobber. He was part of the Job Squad, which I did another showcase that had some of these guys in it. I know Goldberg was in there, but that is going to be the first piece of today's showcase. Next up here, we have 2 former Nation of Domination characters. We've got the Godfather as well as Sexual Chocolate Mark Henry. And these were 2 releases I had never thought we were going to get in the Mattel line, but fantastic looking figures. The Sexual Chocolate Mark Henry won a fan vote. I don't remember who else it was. For a little bit, they had the fan takeover line at Toys R Us. And I know that Mark Henry, this figure is one that won. I don't remember if he was up against different characters or if it was different versions of him. I want to say like Nation of Domination Mark might have been an option we could have voted for, and we didn't get it originally. So I thought that this was an odd one, especially because they couldn't obviously put like sexual on the, on the box or anywhere talking about this figure because it's we're selling these to kids. That'd be pretty weird. But I think it's a fantastic figure. I think it really captures Mark during that time. And then Godfather, for obvious reasons, his whole character was being a pimp. And he owns a gentleman's club, now. And I never thought we would get a figure of him from Mattel. And I think they nailed it. One thing that I dislike with his figures is that with the Kama figure, we got that bigger torso, and none of his other figures have that. The Kama Mustafa, as part of the Nation, had this same torso, like Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Sergeant Slaughter size torso. His Papa Shango figure had this torso. And I prefer the bigger torso, but I also like to have uniformity between my figures. So that kind of annoys me. But as far as this Godfather figure, the green pants, the green vest, the hat, like just top to bottom, I think it's an awesome figure. Pretty sure it came with sunglasses as well. I just couldn't find them. Those always fall off. They're around here somewhere, but still, outside of that, just 2 awesome figures. Next up, we have a couple of celebrated European champions. We have D'Lo Brown and Val Venus. And for these, the D'Lo Brown is a custom. We got the Legends figure, and this is essentially the same pieces. I'm pretty sure the legs are from a D'Lo Brown figure I might have had. I can't think of it now. Maybe not. A little different, but still like same size. Calves, I think, are a little bit different. The torso was from a Sergeant Slaughter, and I had repainted it. But this was before we got the Legends figure announced, or the chase. And I couldn't find the chase, so this is just stayed in my collection. The arms were a little big. They're David Otunga arms, and now that I look at it, I had never acetoned off his little tattoo on his left arm, but I have the chest protector on there. I am more than satisfied with that custom. Just some decals on the legs. Again, I'd still like to chase down that chase figure, no pun intended, eventually, but this works for my singles run. European champion, D'Lo Brown, and then the Val Venus here, it was an interesting formula to put together. I had to mess around with pieces a little bit. I think he's got Hulk Hogan boots, Macho Man lower calves. The upper legs, I think, are from an Arn Anderson. Obviously, I painted the tights, and then a John Cena torso and Daniel Bryan arms. So, the head sculpt too is the Jakks Classic Superstars, which I made this before I started painting head sculpt. So it's a decent sculpt, but I would like to get the head sculpt from Heteration. I think the hair on that one is much better. So I'll get that eventually, but this definitely works. And I actually have, another custom Val Venus coming later down the line for the showcase here. But, really this whole, showcase video today is a lot of the mid-card guys, but I've said before, like, I think that part of why the Attitude Era was so special was because even, like, obviously The Rock, Stone Cold, plenty of other main eventers were like a whole different stratosphere, but the mid-carders made it entertaining the whole time. And I think that is why, like, I'm so nostalgic about the Attitude Era as well, just because everything was entertaining from top to bottom, even if it was a useless angle where Kai and Tai wanted to castrate Val Venus. Still a good time. Love the Attitude Era. Next up, we have Crash and Hardcore Holly, and the Crash Holly might dip off the rotating stand here. The feet for him are super, super loose. I need to get some new boots on him, but besides that, I really like the custom here. I took a Daniel Bryan body, I think some Ricochet, or some Sami Zayn, lower, or calves maybe, and then just use some decals on him. The head is a modified head from one of his Jakks figures. I thought they did a really good job with his sculpts. My Hardcore Holly, I'll be honest, I'm not really a fan of. Made it a long time ago, and I've been meaning to make a better Hardcore Holly. I painted those tights. Those aren't decals at all. The Hardcore Holly on the legs I painted, and I just think it worked for then. I'm going to change up the formula. I'm going to use a couple, I think I have a head sculpt from House 14. His Hardcore Holly head is really nice. But one I want to remake, but at the same time, it's not huge on my to-do list to make a Hardcore Holly. So, I'll get around to it, but, like I said, Attitude Era wise, was it WrestleMania 16? I think they had the, 20-minute hardcore match, which was awesome, which is probably my favorite memory of Hardcore Holly, when he smashed a giant jar of gumballs over, I think it was Taz's head. If you are not young, with your parents' permission, go back and watch WrestleMania 16. The hardcore match is just ridiculous. It's funny. It's, I think, everything a lot of people wanted the 24/7 title to be. Just outrageous stuff, but, there we have it. Hardcore and Crash Holly. Next up, we have the Ultimate Edition Kane, as well as the Build-A-Figure Paul Bearer. And this Build-A-Figure, was at Walmart years ago. It was like a basic X-Pac, Chris Jericho. I can't remember the other two. It was a kind of weird Build-A-Figure set, but it came with Paul Bearer. And for a long time, until recently that it was really hard to get Paul Bearer. And so I'm still trying to chase down that elite. It's not outrageous on the secondary market, but it's just kind of starting to hit retail. So I've been hoping I'll find that as well as the chase. But the Ultimate Edition Kane here, I think, is an awesome figure. I really, really like. I always liked the one arm look. I thought that was really cool for Kane. I really like every Kane figure that we get. I think they do a really good job. I think the Ultimate Edition look works really well right here. I wish somehow they could give us the sleeveless look. So if they it wouldn't be as accurate, but if they moved the shoulder out a little more, what am I trying to say? The sleeveless part, if they just move that out past the butterfly joint and then give us like a swappable arm, I think that'd be cool. I don't know. Maybe not. I know some people are real sticklers for accuracy, and that wouldn't be spot on, so I understand there as well. But anyway, the Kane is cool. We do have some alternate head sculpts, but I think I have those on other figures. This is my favorite of them. And then I have a bunch. I could do just a Kane and Undertaker showcase. I've got a bunch of those guys coming, but there we have Kane and Paul Bearer. Next up, can't have Kane without Undertaker. Here's his Ultimate Edition, and I have recently gone over the Ultimate Edition, how everything looks underneath. I think that it's a good figure, weird proportions, but the robe and everything, like, just looking at this Undertaker like this, I think it is awesome. This captures, like, Attitude Era Undertaker, at least, like, early Attitude Era Taker for me so well. I like that it's the cloth robe, mostly. Obviously, it's, like, rubber on the actual, like, robe part covering him, but, I like this head sculpt. It looks very weird when you first saw pictures of it. And I do have 2 Ultimate Editions, so I posed this one on the shelf, in his entrance coat, and then I have the normal one without it right next to it. But, I think I just saw this the other day. This was one of the ones they were re-releasing, with is it Roman and Asuka as well? So if you don't have it, I think it's a cool figure. The Legends figure that we just recently got of him was also a good one. Just doesn't have this rubber style of coat. But anyway, I don't need to talk long about this Undertaker. It's a cool figure. Glad I have it. Next up here, we've got the Ultimate Edition Stone Cold and Rock. And the Rock figure is the Target exclusive. I do have the Amazon one that we originally got. I have a different sculpt. I think I actually have him as like my Ruthless Aggression Rock right now. I put a different sculpt on him, but this one I really like. This head sculpt is just the eyebrow raising sculpt. We got a lot of different ones with this one and the Stone Cold. For this figure specifically, I just thought that just the hair, the sideburns, the eyebrow just fits that version of Rock so well. The re-release we did get, the blue and silver, and I want to say Amazon was red and silver. I could be wrong there. But then this one has the butterfly joints. It's got the drop-down hips, which admittedly, I'm not a huge fan of the drop-down hips. I think that there's only a few people I wish had much better articulation, and I guess for posing around, it's a little nice, but I don't do a lot of deep posing like that, so I prefer just the normal joints. Anyway, moving on to Stone Cold here. His attires obviously are always pretty bland. He just has black tights, the black boots and everything, but I think this captures him really well. I think it's odd that he got this torso, but then, like, Shawn Michaels, his old figure, gets the, like, bigger ultimate torso. Just really wish they would, maybe resize. I mean, we're kind of seeing it with, like, Seth Rollins. Like they redid his torso, gave him a newer one. The Randy Orton's pretty good, but I think they still need to kind of smooth things out with the Ultimate Edition line. But still, 2 obviously like the most iconic guys from the Attitude Era and just WWE in general. They're on most people's Mount Rushmore, I think, if you ask about wrestling. But Rock and Austin, absolutely quintessential for the Attitude Era. Next up, we have 2 masters of the ankle lock. Here we've got the Legends Ken Shamrock, as well as the Entrance Greats Kurt Angle. And this attire, I believe, is from the Royal Rumble for Kurt when he fought Taz. I'm pretty sure that's when he wore this. I think this was the first Kurt we got. The first Elite Kurt came with the entrance stand that played his music, which was cool. But I always thought this formula was a little big for Kurt, but it's grown on me. It works. So I make all my customs with this size. But the weird thing with this figure was that the hair was kind of like greenish. You look at his hair compared to Ken's, I think his should be more like how Ken Shamrock's hair is, but it had this like weird greenish hue to it. Other than that, I think it's a really nice figure. And then the Ken Shamrock, I just did the red version. I talked about a little bit, maybe like the first or second part of this, but the red is always more iconic for me. Picked up the Legends green one once it was just on clearance at Target. Like a lot of their Legends go on clearance, so it's always cool. I like adding different attires of guys, and I think I actually have an extra of Ken, so I'm going to do that one in the like black, red, and gold kind of look, but still, obviously, Kurt Angle is a massive piece of WWE's history, but Ken Shamrock too was very prominent for a few years in WWE, so absolute staples for the collection here. Next up, we have a couple customs of the Hardy Boys. Jeff Hardy, well documented on the channel, is my second favorite wrestler of all time behind Shawn Michaels. When I was younger, I still have it actually. I had the TLC VHS, and it was all about the Hardys, the Dudleys, and Edge and Christian, talking about all their ladder matches. It went through like their history from when they started. And I think at that point it went all the way up to WrestleMania 18. I'm pretty sure. And obviously they had a lot of ladder matches after that as well, but the whole VHS documentary was about those three tag teams. And I actually got it signed by Matt Hardy at some point as a child. We had Toys R Us open up in my hometown, and Matt Hardy came for an autograph signing. So I had him sign that, as well as one of the Jack's Ruthless Aggression figures, which I can't find the figure. I still do have the VHS somewhere around here, though. I just saw it the other day. Anyway, with these figures, this is more what I think of with the Hardy Boys. Like the time where I really got into being their fan. So Jeff wore a black shirt with the white stripes on the shoulders in like the like Terry Invitational tournament, I think they called it. Very Attitude Era-esque, if you catch the drift there. But they won a ladder match to win Terry as their manager, and Jeff Hardy had that. And then the Matt Hardy figure, so that one, the head sculpt is from a Jax figure, and the Jax figure had this look where it was the black pants, and then it had like a metallic silver and black shirt. So I wanted to recreate that. So I used that Jax head, but I didn't like the hair sculpt. So what I ended up doing was painting the sides of the head on this one. You can kind of see the fade on the sides there. And then the hair piece is from an Usos figure, actually. So I wanted to have my Matt look like that. I wanted a Jeff that looked like that, which there's some like prototype figures of Jeff that kind of look like this. As well as like some Brood prototypes, and you can look those up on Google or eBay if you really want to see those. But these are like my quintessential Hardy Boys, even though there's a lot of other ones that I would like to get in the collection, but I really wanted them. Glad I could get them done myself. And last today is going to be Al Snow, and I have Head somewhere. I can't find her. I know, probably just in a bin. And so if you don't know who Al Snow is, he used to walk around with a doll head, and her name was just Head. And that is where I'm going to leave the end of that conversation. Here, I made this one pretty simply. He did wear a singlet, but I wanted to use the singlet pieces that I had. So I used those on another guy. I just put a Shield Rollins torso underneath him. It worked for me since I have this shirt on him. The head is from a Jax Classic, which I think looks very good. Captures his like big blonde hair there. Headeration has a really nice Al Snow head sculpt, and he has two actually. I think they're both up there. They might be, not positive. But for the body, I think I just used an Arn Anderson lower, put the Rollins torso, and then like some Daniel Bryan arms. And really, it was a simple custom, but Al Snow, again, like one of those mid-carders who didn't really do anything. He was literally in a group called the Job Squad, who all they did was job. They lost matches, and that was entertaining. So that is going to be the end of everything today for today's showcase. I feel like what we're doing, I think I said this is part 4. We have plenty more to come with the Attitude Era, and then we're going to have to redo it all again in a year to include all of the new customs and new figures we pick up as this Monday Night Wars line comes out. But outside of that, please continue to like, share, subscribe. I always appreciate it. And remember, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy more action figures. Figure Dude out.